The story of Prophet Joshua in the land of Egypt under the cruel rule of Pharaoh, who ordered the death of every Hebrew baby boy, a child named Hoshea from the tribe of Ephraim was born. Though the Bible is silent on the exact details of his birth, his life began during a time of slavery and suffering. He would grow up to become known as Joshua, one of the most faithful and courageous men among the Israelites. Joshua's first rise to leadership came when the Israelites faced the Amalekites at Rephidim. Moses chose him to lead the army, while he himself stood on the hilltop with hands lifted in prayer. As long as Moses' hands were raised with Aaron and her helping, Joshua prevailed in battle. That day, God gave victory to Israel through Joshua's leadership and faith. From that point onward, Joshua became Moses' close assistant. He accompanied Moses to Mount Sinai, where God gave the 10 Commandments, and stayed faithfully by the tent of meeting, where God spoke with Moses face to face, even during the crisis of the golden calf. When others turned to sin, Joshua remained loyal. When Israel reached the border of the Promised Land, Moses chose 12 men to spy out Canaan. Among them was Hoshea, whom Moses renamed Joshua. Meaning Yahweh's salvation. It was a prophetic name for the future leader of Israel. Upon returning, 10 spies spread fear about giants and fortified cities, but Joshua and Caleb stood firm. They urged the people to trust in God's promise, saying, "Do not be afraid, for the Lord is with us," but the people rebelled. As punishment, God declared that only Joshua and Caleb would live to enter the Promised Land, the rest would die in the wilderness. As Israel camped near Moab, King Balak, terrified by their numbers, hired a prophet named Balaam to curse them. But God commanded Balaam not to curse Israel, for they were blessed. Balaam set out on his journey, but the angel of the Lord blocked his path. Strangely, it was his donkey that saw the angel and spoke to him, saving Balaam from death. This miraculous event proved that God's hand was actively protecting Israel, even using a donkey to reveal truth. Despite Balak's pressure, Balaam blessed Israel 3 times, prophesying their future strength and declaring, "How beautiful are your tents, O Jacob." These blessings showed that no curse could harm Israel while God was with them, a truth that foreshadowed the victories Joshua would lead. As Moses neared death, God appointed Joshua to succeed him. Moses laid hands on him before all Israel, and Joshua was filled with the spirit of wisdom. He was now chosen to complete the mission Moses had started. God spoke directly to Joshua, saying, "Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." These words empowered Joshua as he prepared to lead the people across the Jordan. With the priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant, the Jordan River parted as they stepped in. Just like the Red Sea had before, the Israelites crossed on dry land. 12 stones were taken from the riverbed to build a monument, a lasting reminder of God's power and faithfulness. The first great challenge was Jericho. God gave Joshua a strange command to march around the city for 7 days. On the 7th day, the walls of Jericho fell flat with a mighty shout. The city was conquered, and Rahab, who had protected the Israelite spies, was saved. Meanwhile, Balaam, who once blessed Israel, had secretly advised the Moabites and Midianites to corrupt Israel with idolatry and immorality. This led to great sin and judgment. During a later campaign, Balaam was killed by the sword, along with the Midianite kings, removing a spiritual threat to Joshua's mission. Joshua next conquered Ai and then renewed the covenant with God on Mount Ebal, reading all the words of the law aloud. His victories continued, not through strength alone, but through obedience to God. In the Battle of Gibeon, Joshua prayed for the sun to stand still, and it did, the only time recorded when God listened to a man in this way. This miracle gave Israel complete victory over their enemies. Joshua led the division of the land among the 12 tribes, fulfilling God's promises to Abraham. Cities of refuge were established. The Levites were given their portions, and peace began to spread across the land. In his final speech, Joshua gathered all the tribes at Shechem, reminding them of God's faithfulness and urging them to stay true to his covenant. He declared boldly, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Joshua died at the age of 110 and was buried in the hill country of Ephraim. His legacy lived on not only in victories but in faithfulness. Israel served God all the days of his life and during the lifetime of the elders who had known him.